The sun rose over the mountain peaks, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. Ta stepped out of his small wooden cabin and breathed in the crisp morning air. At 42, his face showed the marks of a life spent outdoors, with deep lines around his eyes from years of squinting at the sky. A sharp cry echoed across the valley. Ta smiled and raised his arm. From the tall pine tree nearby, a massive golden eagle launched into flight. The bird's wingspan stretched nearly 8 feet as it glided down to land gently on Ta's leather-protected forearm. "Good morning, Saul," Ta said, running his fingers along the eagle's feathered chest. "Ready for breakfast?" Saul blinked his fierce yellow eyes and tilted his head. For a moment, Ta felt a familiar strange sensation in his mind, almost like words forming without sound. He had felt this many times since he rescued Saul 5 years ago, after the strange meteor shower that lit up the night sky for 3 days. Ta had found the eagle as a young bird, injured and alone beneath a scorched tree. The meteor that hit nearby had left an odd blue dust that covered the area. When Ta picked up the eagle, some of that dust had gotten on both of them. Since then, their connection had been unlike anything Ta had experienced in his 20 years as a wildlife conservationist. Inside the cabin, Ta placed fresh meat on a wooden platform for Saul. As the eagle ate, Ta turned on his old radio. It had been 2 weeks since he last went down to the village for supplies. The static-filled voices from the radio made him frown. Reports of unusual objects in the sky over major cities. Government officials urged people to remain calm. Saul suddenly stopped eating and turned toward the window. His feathers stood on end. "What is it?" Ta asked, walking to the window. The sky, which had been clear blue moments ago, now showed dark shapes moving across it. They were too big and too fast to be clouds. Ta grabbed his binoculars from the shelf. Through the lenses, he saw them clearly, massive black ships, shaped like arrowheads, with strange lights pulsing along their edges. They moved in perfect formation toward the distant city. A sharp pain shot through Ta's head. He dropped the binoculars and grabbed his temples. Images flashed in his mind. Stars, darkness, hunger, and a terrible desire to consume. He looked at Saul, who stared back with unusual intensity. "Was that you?" Ta whispered. Saul blinked once and spread his wings. The feeling came again, but clearer this time. Danger, threat, invasion. The radio crackled with panicked voices. "They're attacking." The ship's air. The transmission cut to static. Ta rushed outside. Even from his remote mountain home, he could see smoke rising from the direction of the city. The dark ships now filled the sky like a swarm of deadly insects. Saul flew to Ta's shoulder, larger and heavier than any golden eagle should be, since Ta had found him. Saul had grown to an impossible size, nearly twice as large as a normal eagle. The bird's talons gripped Ta's shoulder without causing pain, another impossible thing. "What are they?" Ta asked. In his mind, Ta felt rather than heard the answer. Hunters. Eaters of worlds. The Voidborn. Ta staggered back, shocked. "How do you know this? How are you in my head?" Saul spread his wings and projected another image into Ta's mind. The blue dust from the meteor, connecting them, changing them both. The ground shook as a distant explosion lit up the horizon. The attack on the city had begun. "We need to help," Ta said, already moving to gather his supplies. Saul launched into the air, circling above the cabin. Ta felt the eagle's response in his mind, clear as spoken words. Yes, together. Fight. As Ta packed his bag, he glanced up at Saul's powerful form against the sky. Something was changing between them, their unusual bond growing stronger as the world around them began to fall. 3 months after the Voidborn first appeared, Earth had changed forever. Cities that once glowed bright at night now stood dark and empty. The aliens had taken control quickly, setting up bases across the planet. Ta's mountain home had kept him safe so far. From his cabin, he watched the land below change. The aliens had built huge machines that dug into the earth, taking metals and minerals. They kept humans in camps to work for them. Anyone who fought back was killed. "They're getting closer," Ta said to Saul as they watched alien ships fly over the valley below. The golden eagle sat on a branch, his yellow eyes following the ships. In the months since the invasion, Saul had continued to grow. He was now the size of a small child, his wingspan over 10 feet. His feathers had taken on a blue glow in the dark. Most amazing was how clearly he now spoke in Ta's mind. Asterisk, they seek resources beneath the mountain. Asterisk, Saul's thoughts came to Ta. Asterisk, they will find us soon. Asterisk. Ta nodded. We should move deeper into the mountains tomorrow. That night, as Ta packed his few belongings, a bright light flooded through the cabin windows. The sound of engines filled the air. "They're here," Ta whispered, grabbing his knife and backpack. Saul flew to the door, his wings spread wide. Asterisk, grunned Ta. "I will distract them." Asterisk. "No, we stay together," Ta said, but the door burst open. Strange creatures poured in, tall, thin beings with gray skin and 4 arms. They wore black armor that seemed to swallow light. Their faces had no mouths, only large black eyes that reflected Ta's scared face back at him. Saul attacked, his massive talons slashing at the aliens. 2 fell, green blood spraying the cabin walls. Ta grabbed his hunting rifle and fired, but more aliens kept coming. A flash of light hit Ta in the chest. Pain spread through his body, and he fell to the floor. Through blurry eyes, he saw Saul fighting, tearing at the aliens with his powerful beak and claws. One alien pointed a long tube at Saul. A net of glowing energy shot out, wrapping around the eagle. Saul shrieked, his wings trapped against his body as he fell to the floor. "Saul." Ta tried to stand, but his legs wouldn't work. An alien kicked him hard in the ribs. He felt bones crack. 2 aliens picked up the net holding Saul. The eagle's eyes locked with Ta's. Asterisk, I will find you. Asterisk, Saul's voice came weakly in Ta's mind. Asterisk, our bond cannot be broken. Asterisk. Tay reached out as they carried Saul away. "Don't fight them," he gasped. "Stay alive." An alien stepped forward, looking down at Ta. This one was different, taller, with a gold mark on its armor. It made a gesture, and the others backed away. The leader alien looked around the cabin, at Ta's books about birds and conservation work. It picked up a photo of Ta with Saul when the eagle was smaller. Then it turned to Ta and spoke in a voice like metal scraping stone. "Interesting connection. Useful for study." It raised a weapon and fired at the cabin's support beam. The roof began to collapse. As the aliens left with Saul, taking Ta's best friend and only family, the leader paused at the door. "Consider yourself fortunate. Your death will be quick. Others serve us until they expire." Tai tried to move as wood and stone fell around him. A heavy beam crashed down, pinning his legs. Blood filled his mouth. As darkness took him, he felt Saul's presence in his mind, growing fainter as they took the eagle away. Asterisk, stay alive, Ta. I see everything. I learn their weaknesses. They fear Earth's predators. They fear what we could become. Asterisk. Then Ta felt nothing but pain, and the world went black. Tai opened his eyes to an unfamiliar ceiling. Pain shot through his body as he tried to move. He was lying on a bed in a small room cut into rock. A single light hung from above. "Stay still," a deep voice said. "Your legs are still healing." A man stepped into view. He was in his 50s with short gray hair and a scar across his chin. "I'm Han. You've been asleep for almost 2 weeks." 2 weeks. Taz's voice was rough from disuse. "How did I?" "My daughter Jia found you buried in your cabin ruins," Han explained. "We were searching for supplies when she spotted your hand sticking out from the wreckage. It's a miracle you survived." Ta closed his eyes, memories flooding back. "They took Saul, my eagle." Han nodded. The aliens take anything unusual. We've seen them collect Earth animals, especially predators. They seem afraid of them for some reason. A young woman entered carrying a tray of food. She had short black hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. "He's awake," she said. "Good. I was worried about the fever." She set the tray down beside Ta. "I'm Jia. You had 6 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and both legs crushed. I've been giving you medicine we took from a void-born medical facility." Tai tried to sit up. This time, the pain was less. "Thank you for saving me. Where are we?" 20 miles from your cabin," Han said. "Underground. We have a network of tunnels the aliens haven't found yet. There are 37 of us here, all that's left of 3 villages." Tai ate slowly, the simple soup warming his body. As strength returned to his limbs, he felt something else, a faint touch in his mind. Asterisk Ta. Ta. Asterisk. He gasped, dropping the spoon. "Sol, I can feel him." Han and Jia exchanged looks. "What do you mean?" Jia asked. "My eagle and I. We have a connection. I can sometimes hear his thoughts. Feel what he feels." Ta closed his eyes, focusing on the faint link. "He's alive. They're keeping him in a large ship, a lab of some kind." Han leaned forward. "You're serious. You can communicate with your bird." "It started after a meteor shower, 5 years ago." Ta explained about finding Sol, the blue dust, and their growing mental connection. Jia's eyes widened. "The blue dust. We found something similar in alien technology we stole. They use it in their communication devices." Tad concentrated harder on the mental link with Sol. Images flashed in his mind. Metal walls, strange lights, other animals in cages. Then something else. Diagrams, plans, a map of the alien fleet. "Sol is sending me information," Ta said, his voice filled with wonder. "He can understand their technology, their plans. The aliens are taking DNA from Earth's predators, studying it. They're afraid of something in our planet's apex hunters." Han stood up quickly. "This changes everything. If you can see inside their ships, learn their plans." "There's more," Ta said as new images filled his mind. "The aliens are controlled by 3 leaders. They call them overseers. The ships, their technology. It all runs on fear. They harvest terror from captive species to power their machines." Jia touched her father's arm. "The neural interface we found. Could it?" "Yes," Han nodded. "It might strengthen his connection." He turned to Ta. "We've been fighting blind, just trying to survive. But now we might have a real chance. We've salvaged alien technology, including a neural interface. It might help you connect more clearly with your eagle." Tai tried to stand, ignoring the pain. "If it helps me find Sol, I'll try anything." "Rest first." Jia pushed him gently back onto the bed. "Tomorrow, we'll see what your bird friend is learning about our enemy." For the first time since the invasion, Tai felt hope. "Scheme coming for you, Sol. We'll fight them together." Miles away, in an alien laboratory, Sol's yellow eyes opened. "Asterisks, Ta. Together. They do not understand what we will become." 1 week later, Tai sat in a room deep underground with Han, Jia, and 5 other resistance members. His legs were still weak, but he could walk with a stick. On the table before them lay maps and drawings of alien ships. "Sol has shown me where they keep him," Ta said, pointing to a spot on the crude map. "It's a research ship that stays above the old city. They bring animals there to study." A thin man named Sung nodded. "I can confirm this. I work as a human helper on that ship. The aliens don't pay attention to us. They think we're too stupid to understand their work." "Sung has been our eyes inside their operation for months," Han explained. "He's smuggled out medicine and weapons." Jia placed a strange metal device on the table. It looked like a silver crown with thin wires and blue stones embedded in it. "This is the neural interface I mentioned," she said. We think it can strengthen your connection with Sol. Ta picked it up carefully. How does it work? The blue stones are made of the same material as the dust that connected you and Sol, Jia explained. The aliens use them for long-distance communication. I've changed it to match your brainwaves. Han leaned forward. If this works, we want to try something bold. Not just communicate with your eagle, but rescue him. The room grew quiet. No one had ever attempted to rescue anything from an alien ship. Why take such a risk? Asked a woman named Mai. One bird isn't worth our lives. It's not just about Sol, Ta said. Through him, I can see inside their operation. He understands their technology somehow. And, he hesitated, I think there's something special about him. The aliens are afraid of what he might become. Some nodded. The aliens keep him in a special containment unit. They run tests on him daily. I've heard them make their clicking sounds when they look at him. It's their way of showing fear. Jia spread out a paper with drawings of the ship's layout. Sung has identified their security patterns. Every 14 days, they power down sections of the ship for maintenance. The next cycle is in 3 days. That's our window, Han said. We have suits and masks that will make us look like human workers. Some will get us inside. We grab the eagle and any data we can, then escape before they realize what's happening. Tai studied the plan. It seemed impossible, but his connection with Sol had grown stronger each day. He could now see through the eagle's eyes for short periods, feel his wings as if they were his own arms. There's something else you should know, Ta said quietly. When I use the link with Sol, I can borrow some of his abilities. His vision, his sense of danger. It only lasts seconds, but it's getting stronger. Han's eyes widened. You mean you can see like an eagle? Yes, and more. Yesterday, I felt his strength in my arms. I broke a piece of metal with my bare hands. Ta looked at his palms. It scared me. Jia touched the neural interface. This might make those abilities stronger and last longer. Are you willing to try it? Ta didn't hesitate. Yes. There's one more part to this plan, Han said. Jia has built a device that can disrupt their communications for a short time. When we activate it, their ships won't be able to call for help. Jia held up a small black box with a red button. 10 minutes. That's all we'll have before they fix it. 10 minutes to get in, find Sol, and get out, Ta said. Han looked at each person in the room. This is dangerous. Anyone who wants to stay behind can. No one moved. Ta picked up the neural interface. Let's see what this can do. It's time Sol and I were reunited. Asterisk soon. Tai asterisk came Sol's voice in his mind, stronger than before. Asterisk they are not ready for what we will become asterisk. 3 days later, Ta stood in a line of humans boarding the alien research ship. He wore dirty gray clothes like the human workers. The neural interface was hidden under a cap on his head. Han, Jia, and 2 other resistance fighters stood nearby, heads down, looking like scared workers. Some walked ahead of them, speaking the few alien words he had learned. The Voidborn guard barely looked at them as they entered the ship. Keep your heads down. Sung whispered. Workers never look up. Inside, the ship was cold and dark. The walls glowed with strange blue lines. Ta felt Sol's presence grow stronger as they moved deeper into the vessel. The neural interface hummed softly against his skin. Asterisk Ta. You are here. Asterisk Sol's thoughts came clearly now. Asterisk yes. We're coming for you. Show me the way asterisk. Through their link, Ta saw flashes of corridors and rooms. He pointed silently, guiding the group through the maze-like ship. Security systems power down in 5 minutes, Jia whispered, checking a small device on her wrist. That's when I'll activate the disruptor. They reached a large door with alien symbols. Sung pressed his hand to a panel, and the door slid open. The lab, he said. I'm supposed to feed the specimens. You have 10 minutes before other workers arrive. They entered a vast room filled with cages. Earth animals of all kinds were held inside. Wolves, bears, tigers, even sharks in water tanks. All the planet's top predators being studied by the aliens. Ty felt sick seeing the animals. Many looked ill or injured from experiments. At the far end of the room stood a special case made of clear material stronger than glass. Inside was Sol, his golden feathers glowing with blue light. There, Ta moved quickly across the room. Suddenly, lights flashed, and a loud noise filled the air. "Something's wrong," Jia said, checking her device. "They've changed the power down schedule." Han pulled out a weapon he had hidden under his clothes. "Stick to the plan. Jia, activate the disruptor now." Jia pressed the button on the black box. The lights flickered, and the humming sound of the ship changed tone. "Move fast," she said. 10 minutes at most. Tai reached Sol's container. The eagle's eyes locked with his. The neural interface grew hot against Ta's head, the connection between them stronger than ever. Asterisk together now. Asterisk Sol's voice came in his mind. Tai placed his hands on the clear material. Suddenly, he felt power flow through his body, Sol's strength becoming his own. With a cry, he pushed against the case. The material cracked, then shattered. Sol leaped out, his massive wings spreading wide. He was even larger than when Tai had last seen him, his wingspan now nearly 12 feet. Blue energy crackled along his feathers. Alarms blared through the ship. 3 alien scientists rushed into the room, their 4 arms holding weapons. "Get down," Han shouted, firing at them. 1 alien fell, but the others advanced. Sol launched into the air, diving at them with talons extended. Ta felt the eagle's rage and power flow through their bond. He moved without thinking, his body responding with the speed and precision of a predator. Together, Ta and Sol attacked the aliens. Where Sol slashed with talons, Ta struck with his hands. They moved as one being, their minds fully connected through the neural interface. The aliens fell back, clearly shocked by their coordinated assault. "The data," Jia called. She was at a control panel, connecting a small device to it. "I'm copying their research files." Han freed other animals from their cages. "We need to move. 4 minutes until communications come back online." Ta nodded, feeling Sol land on his shoulder. Despite the eagle's enormous size, Ta bore his weight easily, strengthened by their connection. "I found something," Jia said, her eyes wide as she looked at the alien data. "The meteor shower that affected Sol. It wasn't random. These are particles from another race that fought the Voidborn long ago." "Save it," Han said. "We'll study it at the base. Now we run." With Sol leading the way, they raced out of the lab, the path to freedom clear in both their minds. Back at the Resistance base, everyone gathered around the main table. Sol perched next to Tai, their bond stronger than ever after their reunion. The eagle's presence filled the room, his intelligent eyes watching as Jia connected her device to a computer. "The data we took from the alien ship is incredible," she said as images appeared on the screen. "Look at this." The screen showed 3 alien figures, taller than the others they had seen. Each wore different colored armor, red, blue, and green. "These are the Overseers," Jia explained. "They control the entire invasion. Each has a specific job." She pointed to the one in red. "This one commands their warriors." Then to the blue one. "This one runs their science and research." Finally, to the green one. "And this one manages their resources and ships." Han studied the images closely. If we could take out even one of these leaders, it would hurt their operation badly. Ta felt Sol's mind touch his. Through their connection, he saw images of the 3 overseers together in a large room with strange machines. "Sol is showing me something," Ta said. "The overseers meet in person sometimes. They gather in a special chamber on their main ship." May, who had been quiet until now, leaned forward. "How does the eagle know this?" "They tested him extensively," Tai explained. They showed him images, maps, plans. They didn't know he understood everything, or that he could share it with me. GF scrolled through more of the stolen data. There's something else here. The alien ships don't use fuel like ours. They run on fear. Fear, Han asked. What does that mean? They harvest emotions from the animals and humans they capture, Gia said. Especially fear. They convert these emotions into energy somehow. That's why they keep so many live specimens instead of just studying their DNA. Saul spread his massive wings and sent a clear image to Ta's mind. Ta gasped as he saw it. Thousands of humans and animals in containers, their fear being drained into machines. It's a power source, Ta said softly. They feed on terror. Sung, who had returned safely with them, pointed to another part of the data. Look at these dates. The overseers are planning to meet in 6 days, all 3 in one place. Han's eyes lit up. We'll never have a better chance. If we could strike then, it would be suicide. Mai interrupted. Their main ship is the most heavily guarded place on Earth now. Saul made a soft sound and jumped down from his perch. He walked to the center of the room and looked at each person. Then he projected an image that everyone could see, not just Ta. The people around the table gasped. Floating in the air was a glowing blue image of Saul and Ta, merged together as one being, facing the overseers. How is he doing that? Ja whispered. Ta felt the neural interface warm against his skin. He's evolving, changing. The connection between us is getting stronger. To demonstrate, Ta closed his eyes and focused. When he opened them again, his vision had changed. He could see heat patterns coming from everyone in the room, just as Saul could. I can see through his eyes now, Ta said, and feel his strength. Each day, we share more abilities. Han looked from Saul to Ta and back again. If you two can do this, maybe you can get close to the overseers. There's more, Gia said, reading from the screen. According to this data, the aliens are planning something big. They've set a date to begin harvesting all remaining humans at once, to fuel a jump back to their home world. Once they leave, Earth will be nothing but a dead rock. Saul projected another image, a map showing the location of the overseers' meeting chamber. Asterisk, we can stop them. Asterisk, Saul's voice came to everyone's mind this time, not just Ta's. Asterisk, together. Asterisk. The room fell silent as they all realized what Saul had just done. The eagle looked at Ta, and in that moment, they both knew their destiny. 5 days remained before the overseers' meeting. Ta and Saul spent every waking moment preparing for their mission. They trained in a large cave deep underground, away from the other resistance members. Again, Han said, standing at the edge of the cave with a timer in his hand. Faster this time. Ta nodded, sweat running down his face. He closed his eyes and focused on his connection with Saul. The neural interface, which he now wore all the time, hummed with energy. In an instant, Ta's mind merged with Saul's. He felt the eagle's wings as if they were his own arms, saw through Saul's sharp eyes, felt the power in his talons. Saul flew to the far end of the cave where targets had been set up. As the eagle attacked, Ta moved in perfect sync, his body flowing through combat moves that Han had taught him. Where Saul struck with talons, Ta struck with his hands. When Saul dodged, Ta rolled away from imaginary attacks. 58 seconds, Han called out. 2 seconds faster than last time. Gia entered the cave carrying a bundle. I finished the armor. She laid out 2 sets of lightweight armor on a table. One was sized for a man, the other shaped to fit Saul's body. I made these from materials we took from the alien ship, she explained. It's the same stuff their armor is made from. It will protect you from their energy weapons. Ta picked up his chest piece. It was surprisingly light but felt very strong. Thank you, Jia. Saul landed beside them and examined his own armor with curious eyes. The eagle had continued to grow and change. Blue energy now constantly flowed along his feathers, and his eyes sometimes glowed in the dark. "I've been studying the data we stole," Jia said. "I think I know why the aliens are so afraid of Saul." She showed them a tablet with alien text and images. The blue particles from the meteor, they're from a race the Voidborn encountered long ago. A race that nearly destroyed them. "What happened to these aliens?" Tai asked. "They disappeared," Jia said. "But before they vanished, they spread these particles across the galaxy. I think they were seeding other worlds with their essence, looking for compatible life forms." Saul made a soft sound and sent an image to Ta's mind. Stars, planets, and strange beings with wings of light. "I remember them. From before I was born." Saul's voice came to everyone in the room. "Their knowledge lives in the blue energy." Han shook his head in wonder. "So Saul is becoming one of these ancient beings?" "Not exactly," Jia said. "I think he's becoming something new. A hybrid. Earth predator and ancient guardian mixed together." Ta placed his hand on Saul's head, feeling the connection between them pulse with energy. "And our bond is part of it." "There's something else you should know," Jia said, her voice more serious. "Saul can disrupt their technology. We've seen it happen during our training sessions." It was true. Several times when their connection was strongest, nearby electronic devices had flickered or failed. "It's the blue energy," Jia explained. "It interferes with the Voidborn systems, if you can get close enough to their control center." A loud alarm cut through the air. May rushed into the cave. "Voidborn patrol ships," she shouted. "They're scanning the area." Han grabbed his weapon. "They've found us." Everyone to the escape tunnels. As people rushed about gathering supplies, Ta felt a sharp pain in his head. Through his connection with Saul, he saw images from the Eagle's memory. Alien scientists discussing their plans, pointing to a map showing the location of the resistance base. "They've known where we are," Tay realized. "They've been watching us, waiting for the right time to attack." "They fear what we are becoming," Saul told him. "They will try to separate us." Han looked at Tai and Saul. "Our plan has to change. We can't wait for the Overseer's meeting now." Ta nodded, helping Jia gather her equipment. "Then we go tonight, ready or not." Saul spread his wings, the blue energy pulsing brighter than ever. "We are ready, Ta. We have always been ready for this." Night fell over the ruined city as Ta, Saul, and the resistance fighters moved through the shadows. Above them, the massive alien command ship floated like a dark cloud against the stars. Searchlights swept the ground, looking for humans who had escaped the work camps. "The main ship has 3 entry points," Han whispered, pointing up. "We'll create distractions at 2 of them. Ta and Saul will use the 3rd. Everyone wore the armor Jia had made from alien materials. Saul's gleamed in the darkness, fitting perfectly over his massive body, while still allowing him to fly. The blue energy that flowed through his feathers was now contained, hidden until needed. Tai adjusted the neural interface on his head. "Once we're inside, Saul and I will find the Overseers. The rest of you should focus on freeing as many humans as possible. And planting the bombs," Jia added, patting her backpack. "If we can't stop the Overseers, we'll at least damage their ship." Han divided the team into 3 groups. "Remember, we have no way to communicate once we're separated. Stick to the plan and meet at the rendezvous point in 2 hours." Ta looked at Saul, who perched on a broken wall nearby. "We won't need 2 hours." The Eagle's voice came in his mind. "No," Ta agreed. "We'll either succeed or fail much faster than that." As the resistance fighters moved into position, Tai and Saul waited in the shadows. The first explosion came right on schedule. A loud boom followed by alarms and flashing lights on the east side of the ship. Minutes later, a second explosion hit the west side. "Now," Ta whispered. Sol flew up toward the underside of the ship where a small loading dock remained unguarded. Todd followed, using handholds in the broken buildings to climb higher. Their connection allowed Todd to see what Sol saw, a clear path to the entry point, with most guards rushing to the disturbances. When Tay reached the top of the tallest building, Sol swooped down and grabbed his shoulders with powerful talons. With incredible strength, the eagle lifted Ta through the air toward the ship. Through their bond, Ta felt Sol's muscles straining, felt the beat of his wings as if they were his own. They landed on the loading dock unseen. Todd touched the control panel the way Sung had taught him, and a door slid open. Inside, the corridors were dimly lit with the same blue lines they had seen on the research ship. Asterisk this way. Asterisk Sol projected, the eagle's memory of the ship's layout guiding them through the maze of hallways. They moved silently, their minds completely in sync. When alien guards appeared, they attacked as one, Sol diving from above while Ta struck from below. The years Ta had spent studying eagle hunting patterns now served him well in combat. As they went deeper into the ship, they felt a change in the air, a vibration that seemed to touch their minds. Asterisk, they know we're here, asterisk Sol warned. They reached a large door marked with symbols of the three overseers. Beyond it lay the control chamber where the alien leaders would be meeting. Ready? Tai asked, though he already knew the answer through their bond. Sol's response was to let the blue energy flow freely from his feathers, filling the corridor with light. Ta felt the neural interface pulse in response, sending waves of energy through his body. Their minds merged more completely than ever before. With one powerful kick, Ta broke down the door. They entered a vast circular room with a platform in the center. Standing there, just as shown in the stolen data, were the three overseers, red, blue, and green armor gleaming in the strange light. The overseer in red stepped forward. "We have been expecting you, human and eagle." Its voice echoed strangely, as if coming from everywhere at once. "You are not the first to be touched by our ancient enemy." The one in blue raised 4 arms. "But you will be the last." Around them, dozens of alien guards appeared, weapons ready. Tai felt Sol's mind touch his. Together, they released the full power of their bond, blue energy exploding outward like a wave. Asterisk now we fight asterisk, they thought as one. Asterisk now we avenge asterisk. Blue energy crackled around Tai and Sol as they faced the overseers. The alien guards fired their weapons, but the energy shots dissolved when they hit the blue field surrounding the human and eagle. "Impossible," hissed the blue overseer. "The guardian energy cannot be this strong." Tai felt Sol's mind completely merged with his own. They were no longer two beings, but one consciousness with two bodies. They moved in perfect harmony, Tai leaping forward with inhuman speed while Sol attacked from above. The guards fell back, unable to stop their advance. The red overseer, leader of the alien warriors, stepped forward to fight. Its 4 arms wielded energy blades that cut through the air with a high-pitched sound. "You are just one human and one bird," it said. "We have conquered thousands of worlds." Tai and Sol answered as one, their voices merging strangely. "But you have never faced Earth's guardians before." They attacked together. Where the red overseer slashed with its blades, Tai was already moving away. Where it tried to defend, Sol's talons found gaps in its armor. Blue energy flowed from them into the alien's body, causing it to scream in pain. The green overseer rushed to a control panel, activating the final protocol. It shouted, "If we cannot have this world, no one will." A loud alarm filled the ship. On screens around the room, Tai saw images of massive weapons powering up, aimed at Earth's core. "They're going to destroy the planet," Tai realized through their shared mind. With a powerful wing beat, Sol knocked the red overseer down and flew toward the green one. Tai ran at the blue overseer, his body moving faster than he had ever thought possible. The neural interface on his head glowed so brightly it looked like he wore a crown of blue fire. As Ta grappled with the blue overseer, he saw through Saul's eyes. The eagle's talons closed around the green overseer's neck, stopping it from completing the destruction sequence. But more guards were entering the room, too many to fight. "We need more power," Ta thought to Saul. The eagle's response came not in words but in feelings: trust, certainty, and a deep knowledge of what they must do. Ta reached up and removed the neural interface from his head. Instead of their connection weakening, it grew stronger. The blue energy was now part of them, not contained by the device. "Now," they shouted together. Ta threw the neural interface into the center of the room. Saul sent a surge of energy into it. The device exploded in a blinding flash of blue light, sending a wave of power through the entire ship. All around them, alien technology sputtered and died. The Voidborn fell to their knees, their connection to their ships and weapons broken. The three overseers, weakened but still dangerous, gathered together in the center of the room. "Kill us, and another triumvirate will come," the Red One mourned. "Our kind is endless." Ta and Saul walked toward them, still surrounded by blue energy. "We do not need to kill you," they said together. "We only need to show you that Earth is not yours to take." They placed their hands and talons on the overseers' heads. Images flowed from them into the alien minds. Earth's history, its countless species fighting to survive, evolving, growing stronger through millions of years of struggle. "This is why you fear Earth's predators," Ta and Saul told them. "Because deep down, you know we will never stop fighting." The blue energy pulsed one final time, and the overseers collapsed. Around the ship, throughout the city, across the world, the aliens' control systems failed. Their ships lost power. Their weapons went silent. Han and Gia burst into the room with other resistance fighters. "What happened?" Han asked, staring at the fallen overseers. Ta and Saul began to separate their consciousness, becoming two beings again. The experience had changed them both forever. "We showed them who we really are," Ta said, feeling Saul land gently on his shoulder. "And what we can become when threatened," Saul added, his voice heard by everyone. Outside, dawn broke over Earth for the first time since the invasion, without the shadow of alien ships darkening the sky. The talons of vengeance had struck true.